Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
We have kind of a comprehensive review episode. We do these
Yeah,
occasionally.
yeah. Well, we felt like this was important
This
because,
is important.
and this is like a private insider rabbit hole for all our listeners.
We're letting you in to the
Yeah,
inner sanctum.
we want you in. We want you in this rabbit hole with us.
Well, remember, Satan has an inner sanctum.
I know. Do we?
So,
Do we?
so Satan has an inner sanctum, and Elon wants to be in, and Peter Thiel is in.
Right.
But we have an inner sanctum too.
Yeah.
In our inner sanctum, you have to know our inside jokes.
Yeah. And we want. We started. We kind of started saying, we have so many of these inside jokes that have like sort of popped up organically as like epiphanies during our various episodes. And actually, Epiphany is kind of an inside joke too, really, because it's kind of like
It's a trope.
it's our thing. We have these epiphanies while we're talking, but during our episodes, we come up with these funny little inside jokes that become little phrases and references that we go back to and refer to over and over again
Yeah.
because they're kind of symbolic.
And
They stand for something.
we'll say them in kind of a sentence, and if you don't really know it, you might not fully understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, so we started thinking maybe we should do an episode just sort of recapping all of our inside jokes so that our listeners, like our new listeners, can, or maybe if you've missed certain episodes, you can listen and you'll know exactly what each of these little jokes means. And then when we're referencing it, you'll understand better.
And it'll be funnier.
Yeah, it'll be funnier and you'll be in on our inside joke. So that's what we want to do.
We kind of did this for a season 1 review.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about some more inside jokes. But now, believe it or not, we're 35 episodes into season 2.
I know. And we're kind of just this one, we're just going to focus on the little inside jokes. We're not going to really talk about like
We've had a lot
the
of them.
topics.
Well, season 2, you can see that we have incorporated several. So let's start off. You kick us off with the first one.
Should we start with the most recent one? Or why don't we start with the most recent
We
one?
can do them randomly, but whatever. Yes.
We're not necessarily going to go in chronological order, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the most recent little inside joke that we have is the German Shepherd moment.
The German Shepherd moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now
Well,
keep it clean, Firefly.
I'll keep it clean, but you know what? That was a perfect analogy.
It was most of these inside jokes they're analogies.
They're analogies.
They help explain a bigger phenomenon, a bigger picture, of what's happening somewhere. So
I came up with the German Shepherd analogy while we were talking. We weren't in a podcast. We were just kind of talking about an episode.
uh-huh.
And what happened was we were kind of talking about how, if somebody goes and gets tattoos on their face, or if somebody goes and gets the pokies, or like we've also talked about, like if somebody sells big shawarma for a living, it's kind of one of those things where now you've exhibited a behavior that is a bridge too far for us, and we cannot relate with you, or we can't really ever hang out with you or be friends with you now.
Yeah, it's like somebody does something that just changes your whole viewpoint of them and your whole opinion.
So what I felt like crystallized that perfectly and encapsulated that perfectly was like, so your neighbor is like, oh my God, come over anytime. Anytime you need anything, just come over. My door's
Just
always
come
open.
on in.
Just come right in. You just walk right in. And so you're like, you know what? Shoot, we're out of sugar. Why don't you go ask Jennifer if she's got some sugar? So I go, okay, fine. So I go over to the sliding glass door, and she leaves it cracked, and she's like, just come in every time. So I go and I poke my head in, and I go, Jennifer, what's up? And I look on the couch, and what do I see?
Oh, Jennifer's doing something nasty with her dog.
Specifically.
Her German Shepherd is nice doing something nasty to her.
Her German Shepherd's going down on her.
Yeah, I told you to keep it clean.
That's what it is.
Okay.
That's
All
clean,
right.
but you get the idea. So
So
now
once
you
you
see
see
that,
that,
and now it kind of burns into your consciousness.
you're
It's
like,
kind of
oh,
indelible.
now
You're
I,
like, ooh, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm leaving. I just wanted to see if you had some sugar, but I'll come back another time. And then you go back to your house, and then you sit there, and you and I are talking back at your house now, and we're going,
you can't get it out of your mind.
I go, Butterfly, guess what happened? And you're like, what? Did you get some sugar? And no, I didn't get any sugar, but Jennifer's German Shepherd was.
Yeah.
So now you go, oh my God, really?
Ugh,
Now it's kind of hard to have that same rapport and friendship with Jennifer going forward.
yeah,
This was a bridge too
that
far.
was a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what the German Shepherd
that's the
is.
German Shepherd moment. It's a bridge too far.
What were some of the examples where we used it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't.
Well,
I,
well, we used it with Candace Owens.
oh yeah.
Candace Owens, we kind of caught her with her German Shepherd going down on her.
Well, like we kind of use that with all of the controlled opposition. They did something that was the German Shepherd moment for us, where we went, "Oh, I just can't really relate to that
You
person
know
anymore."
why? Because being controlled opposition is akin to letting your German Shepherd go down on you. It's a disgusting, repulsive, repugnant, unforgivable behavior.
Mm-hmm. So, what was shall we just go down the list of all our
Let's just
various?
go down the
Okay.
list.
Well, we often talk about black pills and white pills, which
Let's talk about the pills.
I think, a lot of people do reference these
Why don't
these
you
pills.
do us the pleasure
Okay.
of explaining the pills to us?
Well, it comes from the Matrix movie, where I think if people have seen that, they remember that the blue pill was where, somebody is just going to kind of like pretend something's not happening because they just want to they want to keep their head in the sand. They want to just pretend everything's okay. They don't really want to know the truth. So they take the blue pill.
That's right.
The red pill is when you want to know what's happening, you want to be awake and aware. But there's also the black pill, which is, you know, kind of doom and gloom. That's like thinking everything is terrible and there's no hope.
You're not taking a blue pill, so you're not living in a fantasy. You're dealing with the truth, but the truth makes you become kind of despaired, hopeless, bitter, jaded, and kind of a nihilist.
Yeah. And kind of like a bummer to be around, like a Debbie Downer.
I care.
So, but then we always like to prescribe white pills.
We do.
White pills are hope and the kind of plan for to make things better and to fix situations, right? That's a white pill.
And so, what the other one that we use is what? When you go to the diner and you get cake,
Red velvet cake.
that's another
That's what we
trope.
like to serve.
What
Red
is it?
red velvet cake. That is the red pill and the white pill swirled together. So you are awake and aware and you know what's going on, but you want to do something about it and you want to cause change
And you
and
know
make
what?
things better.
You just made me have kind of an epiphany about that.
Mm,
Red velvet cake is really important
hmm.
because you have to be red pilled. You have to be red pilled. But you also have to be white pilled because a black pilled person is not really beneficial to our movement.
No,
If you're just going to be black pilled and you just think everything's doom and gloom, then you're not contributing to the conversation in a productive way.
right.
So you have to be. And the other thing that what is so important about velvet cake? You don't get blue pilled by the CO.
Yeah.
The CEO we talked about.
The controlled opposition.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Captain Obvious or
Yeah.
Candace Owens. So, anyways, so what's the next one?
Well, we often reference the Indian dudes.
The Indian dudes.
Yeah, because um, it's kind of obvious that the algorithms are being tweaked, and we're not really getting credit for the views that
Well,
we're
now wait a
getting.
second. You kind of have to go step out even a little further from that. Why? 75%, I saw a statistic, and it's probably more now. 75% of the engineers in Silicon Valley are H1N1 Indian dudes that have been brought here to do those jobs. And the white dudes that lived in San Jose when I was going to college there back in 2000, they all had jobs in Silicon Valley. And the Indian guys took over and they're like, if you would be so kind, we would like you to train your replacement third world
Yeah,
barbarian.
right.
So they have these third world barbarians come in from India and they take over white people's jobs, and the white people have to train them, and then they go join the breadline.
Exactly.
So that's a disgusting phenomena. And so what happens is now you have when you see micromanagement taking place in social media and shadow shunning and banning, a lot of that's AI, but there's also Indian dudes that are looking at that.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not just making it up, because remember those exposés that uh James O'Keefe would do.
Yeah.
Remember James O'Keefe would
Yeah.
be like, I have hidden camera,
Yeah.
and I go
I
and I
fall for it every time. I was a little suspicious.
Dude, James O'Keefe is totally Culture Club.
Yeah.
But anyways, they would have like some Indian dude that worked in Silicon Valley, and he
Mhm.
was like, no, no, you don't understand. We just go ahead and we totally lie to people.
Mhm.
And we lie to people about the pokies, and we lie to people about what's inside of them, and we lie to people about how bad they are. And they laugh and they're sitting there, can I get another champagne? And they're laughing about it,
Yeah.
you know? So that's why we say Indian dudes. And that's why when Silicon Valley is coming in and speaking with us, because sometimes they're like Big Brother.
They
Like
are.
they just come talk to us in the room that we're in.
Yeah.
So they'll come in and they'll say, excuse me, butterfly, you have tried to convey red velvet cake over.
We don't like that.
Yes, that digital means you have to speak blue pill. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, so we refer to them a lot because we know that they're listening in and they're tweaking us and they're like, fact checking us on YouTube. Should we talk about the fact checking?
We can talk about the fact check
Yeah.
because we actually received a fact check.
Yes.
Which one? Tell me.
Well, you were talking about Satan developing or running the Bilderberg,
Well,
right?
do you remember it was we did a funny episode where you interviewed Peter Thiel after going to Bilderberg,
Right.
right?
Right.
And remember you asked him, you're all, so you went to Bilderberg and you're all, why don't you tell us what Bilderberg is? And Peter Thiel explained that, well, Bilderberg was a conference that was established by Satan in 1958. And so just by saying that, we got a fact check.
Yeah.
And the fact check was like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Satan did not start Bilderberg. It was started by his minions.
They actually told us that. And we got like a little ding from YouTube for saying that. So that was pretty funny. Speaking of Satan, we like to refer to him a lot because
Pertains.
we feel like he's running the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not our show, but like the world show.
Satan totally is.
He's totally running things. And we
In real time.
in real time. And we came up with a good analogy for like where his office would be.
He's got.
I
Yes.
don't, this might be a little hard for people to understand if they have not been to this place, but there in LA, there's a place called the La Brea Tar Pits.
Yes.
And it's right in the middle of the city. It's kind of gnarly
It's
and
like
weird.
right under the Hollywood sign.
Yeah. And it's like this total like tar pit where
It's gnarly.
it's gnarly.
It's a bottomless
It's
pit.
a bottomless pit. So this brings up a whole bunch of our inside jokes.
Yes.
But we like to say that that's like Satan's headquarters. Or
That's his headquarters.
Yeah, his headquarters or his office.
Well, like
It's
what we
his
say is
his LA office.
he takes a submarine. He takes a submarine into the Little Red Tar Pit,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he just comes up from there, and he goes, "Good, good, good. Okay,
Yeah.
Dodgers, good. Dodgers, good. Oh, when we burn down Pacific Palisades, because
Yeah.
what's going on is Satan's busy in LA right now.
He's very busy.
He's got Pacific Palisades just burned down. Good, good. And now we got the Olympics coming up, 2028. Good, good. We had Dodgers World Series. We had Lakers win the championship. Good, good,
A
good.
lot of things happening.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We got Karen Bass.
Yeah.
She's running the show there.
So Satan has to be, he's got to have an LA office because he's doing a lot of stuff in
The
LA.
Tar Pits is his office. Where are some of other Satan's offices?
Oh, well,
Geneva.
Geneva,
What did we talk about Geneva?
Switzerland is a big, like, that might even be his
It
headquarters.
might be his
You know what
headquarters.
I mean?
LA is like his satellite
Satellite
office.
office.
That's his satellite office.
Yeah.
But Geneva, because what did we find out about Geneva?
Oh my gosh,
That's
there's
a
so
gnarly
many.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So remember that guy sent me that video and it was like in the Bible, it says the place where Antipas was executed is Satan's seat.
Yeah.
And then you look and you go, Antipas, who is that? And then historically, you look, he was in Geneva. He got executed in Geneva. So then you go, wow, so Satan's seat is in Geneva? That's weird. And you go, wait a second, CERN is there. UN is there.
Bilderberg.
Bilderberg is there. World Health Organization is there. The Bank of International Settlements is there.
WEF.
The WEF is there.
World Economic Forum.
You
They
know,
have their little annual meetings, Davos.
Davos is there.
Mm,
You know, Satan has the headquarters there.
obviously.
He's got a big building and he's got several different divisions in there. See, all of those things we just mentioned, he is in the corner office, and those are little divisions that he goes and checks in on. So he goes,
Right.
Davos, good, good, good. So these are the rich people that are basically ruling the world now. So what we do with Davos, let's have the agenda for our meeting coming up, and here's what we're going to talk about. And that's where Peter Thiel goes in and like is their spokesperson and goes, well, one world government is a bigger threat than Earth modification and AI. So Satan goes in and goes, okay, and they run Davos like
Yeah.
that. But he's got a whole headquarters there.
Exactly. Well, some other little points that come to mind with Satan is um like his office in LA, his Liberator pits, the bottomless pit. We like to talk about bottomless pits a lot.
Well, we have a very specific bottomless pit.
Yeah.
It's in what kind of a bottomless pit is it? They're immoral.
Immoral. Right.
So what a lot of our episodes, like the white pill in a lot of our episodes, is do not become an immoral bottomless pit.
Mhm.
What is that? An immoral bottomless pit, what we've determined is someone who turns off their conscience. And the reason you're a bottomless pit is because you've got these voracious appetites for sex and drugs. The media trains us to become bottomless pits,
Right.
because we become consumers. So you walk around and you go, I want to fuck her. I want to go ride that. I want to go there. I want to go fishing there. I want to watch that movie. I want to hear that band. Oh my God, I want to have sex with her too. And so, oh my God, I want to eat there.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I want that dessert. Well, dude, I want to go drink at that vodka bar in Vegas. You know, you have all of these things, and your bottomless pit is just constantly going, I want. So you become a bottomless pit
With a voracious appetite.
with a voracious appetite. But see, the way humans are supposed to conduct themselves is we're beholden to God. We have a morality that we have to uphold. So we don't just get ruled by our bottomless pits. But in America these days, most people are completely immoral and ruled by their bottomless
Do you know
pits.
why? That brings me to one of our other inside jokes.
An inside joke.
Because it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. We use that a lot. Tell me what a slippery
A
slope is.
slippery slope is, maybe it's you start off doing one thing and then you think it's okay to do the next thing, and then before you know it, you're in the Liberator pit, and it's an immoral bottomless pit.
And you've even
Right.
said you become the tar pit,
Yeah,
and it's your demise.
it's your demise.
You get subsumed, and then you go bye bye. Once you become an immoral bottomless pit, it's not very long before you go bye bye.
So,
But wait a second, you just
what?
brought up something. Let's use it. Um, we have a slippery slope pertains to a lot of our
It
episodes.
does.
So can you tell me an example that we used of a slippery slope?
What did we talk about with the slippery?
Self-driving cars.
Oh,
Why is
yeah.
self-driving cars a slippery slope?
It's a slippery slope because, well, oh my gosh, there's so many. How about for before we talk about the self-driving cars, how about the convenience of things?
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. So people are being conditioned now to welcome these conveniences, like, ordering stuff on an app and
Oh,
paying for
yes.
things like digitally. Like you don't have to have cash.
And
You
I'm
just
guilty of that too.
yeah, you just digital. So they're using their phones to pay for stuff now. And then, like a lot of people are now using they don't even have to have their phones, they just have it on their wrist. They're wearing it. It's a wristwatch.
Next thing you know, you're having stuff implanted in
Next
you.
thing you know, it's in you. It's a chip inside you. So that's a slippery slope. The digital currency is a slippery
Yeah.
slope. So the self-driving cars are a slippery slope.
But wait, that's
Hmm.
that's a slippery slope that you didn't mention the really because a slippery slope is leading to some kind of peril or demise.
Yeah,
So that's important. So just, the ease of technology isn't necessarily a slippery slope. That's just a natural progression. What makes it a slippery slope is when the culture club can say, excuse me, butterfly, you guys made fun of that tranny earlier, and you called him transfusion because he was dressed like California and he was a trans. So you guys now are banned. You don't get to. So
right.
in our digital currency world now, because your chip has been turned off.
Yeah.
So you don't get to buy food, you don't get to take public transportation, you don't get to buy anything.
And
That's why it's a slippery slope.
right. And because you have an electric car and
You can get unhitched.
you can get unhitched and or we can just turn it off so you can't drive it. That's a slippery slope. So
So that's a good unpacking because I would say slippery slope probably pertains to most of our episodes.
totally.
Same with bottomless pit.
Yeah.
Those are two very important ones. What's the next one?
Um, triple M to the P.
Triple M to the P. Unpack that for
We
us, butterfly.
love this. Well, we've done several episodes where I talk about my experiences at like Sephora.
So where Stephanie's name tag turned into Satan,
Yeah, where you're allowed to get 3 samples only.
but you
If
exceeded
you
that.
want a fourth one, you have to come back the next day.
You were bad, butterfly.
And these people love to like give you the bad news because I think a lot of I'm going to incorporate a lot of our little secret inside jokes in this description.
Yes.
A lot of the walkers,
Yes.
which we refer to all the time, are the like people that are so zombified and walk around
They've been rendered into that state.
they're rendered into that state. They're just mindlessly, aimlessly wandering through life. Um, these people love their 5 minutes of power.
Mhm.
5 minutes of power. If
Another
they can like tell you what to do, that feels so powerful to them and it makes them feel good. And
Who is it? It's the lady from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
yes,
And Steve Martin finally gets up to the window and she
exactly.
goes, what does she say?
She goes, "You're fucked." And she
That's what they love.
loved it.
So that's what
So
triple M's to the P
triple
do.
M's to the P,
Who
which
turns them into triple M's to the P?
Satan.
Well, Satan, but who's Satan's minion? Who's the CEO of Earth?
Larry Fink.
Larry Fink.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of Earth.
Yeah. So
Because who's the CEO? What company is he the CEO for?
what company is he the CEO for? BlackRock.
BlackRock.
So these companies, all these companies have these orders or whatever, these rules, and it trickles down. It all trickles down from the top. And then
Yes.
before you know it, you're getting micromanaged by some little sales girl at Sephora because she got her instructions from her manager, who got her instructions from somebody above her, who got her instructions from somebody
That's
above
right.
her, who got her instructions from Larry Fink.
That's an important
Yeah.
part of it because that was how cooties rolled out.
Right. That's how it rolled out. It rolled out.
Tap down.
Everybody took the instructions from the person above them and they all became triple M's to the P's, which, what does that stand for? Megalomaniac psychopaths.
There's one more.
Mini,
It's 3 M's. It's a mini megalomaniac psychopath micromanager.
It's a micromanager.
It's a mouthful, but
Yeah.
that's a very specific thing.
That's what they're doing.
So Larry Fink says, I'm going to drive behavior with financial instruments.
So he's a psychopath.
So he's a psychopath. So what does he do? He turns the people into him.
Yes.
Kind of like the agent in The Matrix. The agent Smith turns everyone into Agent Smith when they're fighting Neo.
Because they tell the one below them what to do, and that person adopts the psychopathic behavior and then tells the people below them what to do. So they're all little psychopaths.
So Stephanie is speaking with you at Sephora,
Mhm.
and you go, what were you looking at? What kind of a product were you looking at? It was a powder, some kind of
I
a powder.
I was I think I was trying to return the blush, or I was trying to get a sample.
You were getting a blush. Okay, so what you said to Stephanie was, can I get another sample? Because I want to try several of these. And what did Stephanie, her badge turned into Satan,
It turned into Satan.
and she went, excuse me, you've already had 3 samples.
And
You have to come back tomorrow.
I'm like, so I think I even asked her, I'm like, so what does that mean? I have to come back tomorrow? And she goes, yeah.
Yes, I'm afraid so. And you know what? I really am kind of happy because there. So if she was able to like take sodium pentothal and tell you the truth, she would say, Larry Fink has turned me into a psychopath. And so telling you that you're screwed is like the highlight of my day.
Totally.
So that's how the triple M to the P works. It's Larry Fink is the CEO of Earth, and he turns all of his minions into triple M to the P because what they're doing is micromanaging from the top down.
Exactly. Exactly. One of the funny ones that we refer to once in a while is it's kind of a reference to that movie Spinal Tap. Remember that movie? That was so funny.
Our
Our
dials,
dials go to 11.
that's right.
Yeah. And we like to say that about ourselves because we think our dials go to 11
Well,
in
what?
terms of
Because that doesn't make sense in and of itself unless
right.
you compare it to someone else.
Yeah.
So who are we comparing it to? They're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
What are they doing when they're driving to Las Vegas?
That's
They're
another one.
so these are the controlled opposition podcasters
Mhm.
who go, no, 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 there's a conspiracy. And then they take you to Baker.
This is one of our other inside jokes.
So if
So
you're driving from LA to Las Vegas, you
Baker,
don't quite get to
you
Vegas.
don't quite get there. Baker's like this little town on the outskirts of
It's
Vegas.
not even a
It's
town.
not even a town. It's
It's
basically like a truck stop with some slot machines.
it's got crusty casinos,
Yeah.
they've got gnarly pie, and they'll make you a crusty shake, but it's just nothing there.
There's nothing there, but you could stop there and gamble.
And you can hang out there.
Yeah.
And what we said is controlled opposition podcasters, when they go down rabbit holes, they'll take you to Baker. And what do I mean by that? They'll be like Candace Owens. And they'll say, no, 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 that country from 1948, that country from 1948 for sure. But just funding them annually, that's what we need to focus on. Not that they control everything in our country. They're going to Baker.
They don't
So
go
they go
all the
hang
way
out. They
in.
don't go all the way to Vegas. We hang out in the Plaza Hotel.
We go downtown.
We go downtown.
Our dials go to 11.
Our dials go to 11. Their dials only go to like 7.5.
Yeah.
Like Alex Jones.
Right.
He goes, no, come here.
But then on the other hand, the evil people that are truly evil in this world, their evil dials go to like 15.
Well, we talked
Right?
about Peter Thiel had his dials modified.
Yeah.
So, like, Elon was wanting to get in the inner sanctum, and he was arguing with Satan. He was going, Satan, please, can I be in the inner sanctum like Peter Thiel? And Satan went, excuse me, Elon, we talked about this. Peter Thiel had his evil dials modified to 15. You have not done that. You're still having sex with women and having kids with like 12 different chicks. You know, Peter Thiel's at least graduated to just having sex with robots.
So, I think we already talked about epiphanies. Like we have those a lot, like at least a couple every episode, where while we're discussing things, we just have like this
Aha.
aha moment.
It's
Not
an
a German
aha
Shepherd
moment.
moment. Not a German
Well, the German Shepherd moment is kind of an aha moment.
It
It's
is.
just kind of a disgusting one.
Yeah. But we have these epiphanies where we come up with, oh my gosh, I just realized something like just through talking about this stuff, we sort of realize and kind of come up with maybe like some of the answers. And that's why I think having these conversations is so important because
Yeah.
we when we talk about it, like ideas get bounced back and forth
Mhm.
and we kind of sort of figure things out
We
sometimes,
do.
you know?
I think you had the epiphany about Larry Fink turning the ground level micromanagers into triple M's to the P.
Yeah, little
That
mini
was a very
psychopaths.
profound realization because they're mini me.
Yeah.
They are internally, they're Larry Fink.
Mhm.
They've become megalomaniac psychopaths
Right.
that are carrying out the micromanagement at ground level. That was a profound epiphany that you
Mhm.
had. That was just through conversation and just talking about a circumstance. It was like an epiphany is when you kind of see the big picture for a second.
Mhm. You know what that makes me think of?
The next one,
Dory. We
Dory.
like to
We
talk
haven't
about,
used
yeah,
yet.
we like to talk about Dory syndrome.
And Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
So, what was the movie Groundhog Day predicated on? That was the Bill Murray movie that came out in the early 90s. And remember, every day is the same.
Yeah.
So he wakes up and he has to go relive Groundhog Day again.
Yeah.
And he's there talking about Puxaconnie Phil or whatever the name of the groundhog is. And then Dory was the Disney cartoon about Finding Nemo, and it was the sequel, and it
Yeah.
was Finding Dory.
Yeah.
And what's Dory's characteristics?
She can't remember from like 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All she has is just 5 minute window, and that's all she is. She's super sweet,
Yeah.
but all she knows is 5 minutes.
So we've noticed that a lot of the walkers seem to exhibit these traits. They don't seem to really remember from one day to the next. They
Yes.
don't recognize you. They don't really remember what happened, even from like a few minutes ago. So we like to refer to that as they've got Dory syndrome.
Yes. It seems to be that's one of the characteristics of people when they've been rendered into this walker state.
Mm-hmm.
One of the behavioral traits that they exhibit is no memory. We saw this with a couple of people. Like you were working with a ophthalmologist,
Yes,
and you had been in there like several
like
times
many times.
and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's like, What's your
Every
name?"
time I went in, he was like, "Who are you?"
It's been several years, and I've seen you like probably 100 times. But what's your name? That's a, or the best
Am
one.
I that forgettable?
No, no, it's not that. They don't have the capacity. Remember the Starbucks girl? She was the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
So I go into Starbucks with my mom and I buy my mom a latte. I don't like Starbucks. I don't ever buy anything for myself there. So I buy my mom a latte and I go, I'm going to go into Vaughn's and get a Monster. Not that they're better, but I'm not supporting Starbucks.
Yeah.
So I go in and I get a Monster and I come back and it's maybe 2, 3 minutes has transpired since I've been in this establishment.
Mhm.
And I go up to her and I go, "Can I get a cup of ice?" And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, you have to have a transaction to give for me to give you a cup of ice." And I go, "Well, just 3 minutes ago, I purchased something." And she goes, "I can give you ice." So I had to kind of refresh her memory.
Yeah,
It was about 3 minutes. I had to refresh her memory.
that's what happens.
That's Dory.
Yeah, that's totally Dory. Um, we
Wait,
also
wait, wait.
Oh, is there something else about Dory?
Why does Satan? Why is that conducive to Satan to lull them into that kind of a stupor?
Oh, a super stupor?
Why is that conducive? Because then they can just kind of contradict themselves because
Yeah.
that's what blue pill people do.
They need to contradict themselves.
You can say to a Trump supporter, Operation Warp, and they're just going to go, but look at the wins.
Mhm.
And then when they all get together and they have their big Trump barbecues and drink Budweiser, none of them talk about Operation Warp Speed because that's no longer in their Dory mind.
Right. Totally. Um, let's talk about bod mod and earth mod.
Two
So
different mods.
two different mods. So I think what's important for our
Wasn't the mods like kind of hit people in Britain back in the 80s?
yeah, what our listeners what we're hoping to achieve with this episode is to help our listeners understand our kind of our inside jokes, but also our little like secret lingo because we've had to get kind of clever with some of the things that we talk about.
Dude, if
Um,
you say Clyde dot Ainge,
yeah,
then you get flagged.
you get flagged if you even talk about the like the weather that they're talking about that is changing a lot. So
So we call it Earth
we call it earth modification.
because that doesn't get flagged.
No,
We can talk about it.
and that's what they're doing. They're talking about this earth modification that's happening.
And you know why we like Earth Mod is because they suggest, well, Clyde dot Ainge, that's caused by cars.
Mhm.
And we're bad.
Or by cow farts.
Cow farts.
Yeah. And
But
you.
and
And
you.
you.
But what we say is, well, wait a minute, no. We call it Earth modification because you guys are using dews and harp.
Yeah, and you're spraying stuff in our
You're
sky.
spraying stuff in the sky.
Yeah.
That's actually modifying
You're
things.
changing the earth.
You guys are doing that.
Mm,
Okay, but it's not cars and it's not cow farts
no.
and it's not me eating meat. But go ahead.
So that's Earth mod.
Earth
And then
mod.
there's Bod mod.
Now, bod mod is a phenomena
Yeah.
because you see people with big holes in their ears and you see dudes with crap in it. Like we saw the lady earlier that walked by. She was a good mod example.
Oh
Remember?
my gosh.
We were talking about the episodes for today and she walked by and she had a bunch of stuff like cropped out of her nose.
Yeah.
Like she kind
Not
of
boogers.
no. It was kind of like if
Like a cow.
like if you just put a hook in that, you could like lead her
Yeah.
because she's got these big rings sticking out of her
They
nose
used to do that with cows, I think.
with cows,
Yeah.
you
It
know?
was really attractive.
It was bod mod.
Yeah. And then
But then she also shaved like the front lobe of her head. I was like, wait a minute.
maybe she had a frontal
Lobotomy.
lobe
She was like,
and they had to do that for medical reasons.
that was how the access was through the shit in her nose. Well, so
And then
you
they
know,
tattooed her neck and
oh
everything
god.
too.
So
To mark.
what we've noticed is that people who are completely ruled by the media, they seem to be exhibiting these behaviors where they go modify their bodies and mutilate their bodies.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what bod mod is.
That's what it is.
But wait, there's an extra step of bod mod too. It's not just tattoos and piercings. You also chop your tits and your dick off.
Oh yeah.
That's bod mod.
That's bod mod. Permanent bod mod.
Permanent bod mod.
So all of these behaviors are kind of ruled by I mean,
The media.
the media, which is controlled by
Satan.
Satan, who is what we had an episode once that we liked to call it was like the ult, but we got flagged for saying that. It was really
Oh,
weird. So we had to come up
that
with
band from the 80s that sings Sweet Soul Sister.
yeah. We had to come up with a different term
You
for
can't say
that
that.
word. So we call it the culture club.
The Culture Club.
The cult
Because
club.
you know what? I think the Culture Club knows that they're a culture club.
Mhm.
So they don't want you pointing that out
No.
because it's kind of like they're like, excuse me, don't be pointing out the realistic dynamics of our existence.
Exactly. So a lot of our episodes we've talked about cooties and pokey pokes.
Cooties and pokey pokes because you can't say the actual
You
words.
can't. The cooties, what we're talking about with cooties is
That disease that started with a C and ended in a 1-9.
yeah, that they pre-planned ahead of time when they had that table read for it. Remember, it was
Event
called
201.
Event 201. It was like
Event
it
201.
was like a table read for
There's
a
no
movie.
See, you gotta be Dory. You
Yeah.
gotta just go, "That's what" because anybody who, like, has their brain still functioning is gonna go, "That's kinda fishy." So they had basically a meeting where they just kinda they look like they're spitballing ideas about how to deal with a big virus and stuff, and then everything that they lay out as their ideas, like, gets implemented over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's
It
not
just kind of happened like verbatim.
so, I mean, how do you, like, put blinders on and just tune that out?
Yeah,
People do.
they do.
You ever see that Chevron commercial from back in the 80s? It was like, "Do people really care about the environment?" People do. That's what it is.
So that was the cuties, and the pokey pokes are. I think that's pretty obvious
Pokey
that
pokes,
people.
but you can't say, V "een"
Yeah,
because V dot dot
axe,
"een," that will
axe,
get you,
flagged.
shadow shunned.
You can't talk about those things.
They see, there's
So we talk about
goalposts.
pokey pokes.
Mhm.
Hmm. And
It's kinda cute too, because it always makes me think of butterfly because it's adorable.
oh,
So we talk about cooties and pokey pokes, and it's kind of adorable.
yeah, and although those weren't adorable,
They're not adorable, but your names for them are. You
um,
came up with those.
another thing that is kind of like ubiquitous, it seems to be
Ubiquitous. I
ubiquitous
love that word.
means it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Um, well, it seems to be everywhere
Mhm.
is that country from 1948 and the you know who's seem to be kind of like they have their hands in everything.
That's right.
They kind of are like at the top of every single thing that's happening in the world. Politics, music, entertainment, education, healthcare, all of these things seem to be controlled by those.
Big shawarma.
Big shawarma is another one. We can't say, the big companies that have like pills and medicine
Yeah.
that's called big
PH.
PH.
You can't use the PH. You have
We
to.
call it big shawarma.
That's right. Because they will flag you for using that. Like I noticed that we did an episode where
They'll
we
fact
used
check us.
well, we used the PH word in the title,
Mm-hmm.
and it got like 3 views.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
They totally shut it down.
There's like, you don't talk about us.
You don't talk about big shawarma.
No, you don't
Mm.
talk about big shawarma.
Unless you're endorsing it and
But
saying how great it is.
I think people know what that country from 1948 is. But for people who don't know,
Yeah.
the country that Bibi Netanyahu runs,
Yeah.
that was started in 1948.
That country just came about on the map in 1948.
It was just declared, by the way.
Yeah.
So we refer to that country a lot because, like you just said, they run the world.
Mm-hmm.
They run everything from the top down. Larry Fink is from that country from 1948.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have dual citizenship. Remember we talked about how they play for the Yankees and the Dodgers?
Right.
So there's dual citizenship people from that country from 1948. But then what was the other one that we call the you know who's?
Mm-hmm.
So
Those are the people.
the people from that country from 1948, you can't even say what they're called because you'll get flagged.
Right.
So we call them the you know who's.
Exactly. And you know who's a you know who? Weinstein.
And what do? We have an inside joke about him. What's that? It's going up to see him at 3 a.m.
Yeah, for a glass of wine to discuss business.
To discuss business, and he's in Israel.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason that that's a significant thing is because every A-lister has had to go up and visit Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go up there.
But they claim that he raped them.
Yeah.
Numerous times. Like not numerous times in one night, but numerous times over several years.
I kept going back, but I kept getting roles.
I kept going back like over the course of 5 years.
Over 5 years.
And he raped me each time.
Every time. But then I also was like in like speed. So it was good. But yeah, like we talked about her.
I know.
And she's probably a dude. Anyways. So we know, everybody knows about Harvey Weinstein.
That brings to mind, get out of my line of sight.
Who was that?
That was
Julie Roberts. Oh, okay, so let's address that really quick because it's pretty classic. So I got my car fixed, and the dude who drove me back to my house from the auto place, he used to be a camera operator down in LA, and he was like, "Dude, Julie Roberts is a cunt," and I was like, "Really?" Because I always thought she was kind of nice. But then she got mad at him because he was in her line of sight.
How dare he?
She was like,
her line of sight.
Yeah. She was like, "You stay out of my vision. I don't even want to know that you exist."
The audacity. Oh my God.
It's almost like I'm better than you, and I don't even want to look at you.
Yeah. That kind of that makes me think of another movie star who probably was nicer that we refer to sometimes as a verb. Anne Hesh.
Anne Hesh.
You don't want to be Anne Heshed.
You can actually get Anne Hesh. It's a new verb. What happened to her?
Well, she was seen oddly on somebody's like ring cam,
which is a rabbit hole.
We got
to go down a ring cam.
Driving like 90 miles an hour through a neighborhood, but they somehow caught that on their door cam. And then she crashed, and like it was like her car seemed to be driving itself. It was kind of weird.
Yep. And she was working on child sex trafficking documentary with a bunch of other people, so it's kind of fishy. And
she crashed, and then there was some video that showed up where the paramedics, who looked kind of strange, were wheeling it looked like dead body that was completely covered in a sheet to the ambulance, and she sat up and they pushed her down and covered her back up.
No. It was almost like she missed her line or she missed her cue in a movie.
It was like, no, we're not going to give you CPR to bring you back. We're just going to push you down and put the sheet back over your head. So that was a little bit weird and scary.
So Anne Hesh became a verb.
Yeah.
You can get Anne Hesh in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. When you drive an electric car and
run afoul of the culture club,
they can just turn it into whatever. And
like Paul Walker.
Yeah. They can crash it. They can stop it.
Who was the other one that we saw from the 80s? Princess Diana.
I think they did that to her.
Because it was really weird.
It was weird.
So anyways.
Yeah. Did we talk about self-driving cars?
Well, yeah.
Did we?
Self-driving cars is well, we did a whole episode on it.
I know, but did we bring it up on this one?
Well, is it an inside joke?
It's probably not an inside joke, but we do talk about that a lot, how you can just get turned off.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Well, we can get Anne Hecht in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So, um, did we talk about the Vax dad? Oh, the Pokey Poked
We
dad?
have. So we
So
talked about him. We
we
talked
should
about him
refer that.
because he's kind of a he's kind of like a metaphor for the walkers.
Yes.
Because what does he do? You go up to him and you say, "Excuse
So,
me, come here."
so I was at like a Pokey Poke event that was taking place at a school. And
Yes,
I went with some friends and we had flyers that pointed out all of the dangers and risks
that's right.
to your child if
From the Pokey
from the
Pokes.
Pokey Pokes, and we were handing them out to people as they were
Keep in mind, the dangers weren't like subtle. You were saying it's
death,
death, cancer,
paralysis,
paralysis, like Guillain-Barré,
yeah,
which is not cool.
strokes,
You want to look like, Justin Bieber and just like my face.
amputation because of like limbs that like die.
Like the one girl who goes, well, I'm paralyzed from the chest down. Would you take the pokey again? Well, yeah, I just had a bad reaction. I still will totally take
I
it.
mean, these people were just completely
But
gone.
so you go sit down with the guy and you go, you don't even sit down with him. You just go, hey, come here, come here. You guys are going to get the pokey kill. Come here, just look at this. These are the deadly things that can happen. You guys should question not doing it. He goes, wow. What did he say?
He goes, wow, that's really interesting. I didn't know any of
I
that.
didn't know
I
that.
haven't heard about this.
That's interesting.
And I thought, okay, great. Like
Good, good.
we pointed it out to this guy. He had never heard of it. This was
We
important
saved
that we
him
were
from
here.
going and doing that.
And he goes, okay, thanks. And he takes the brochure and he just,
Come on, son.
come on, son. And they go right
Let's go.
in to get the pokey poke.
Yep, let's go get the pokey
Like
pokes.
I'm looking at these dangers and I never knew about them before, but okay, let's go ahead and do it anyway.
You know what it reminds me of is that same dad with his son. They walk into Chick-fil-A
Mm-hmm.
and there's that dude from GameStop that goes, "Excuse me, it's ma'am." Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Like so he's in there ordering I'd like the original chicken sandwich, please. And no pickles. No pickles. Yes, sir. Excuse me, it's ma'am. So when that dad and his son see that person, the dad goes, "See that, son? That person is completely acceptable."
Yeah, right.
You know what? That reminds me of another one. It's not necessarily an inside joke, but it comes up a lot.
Okay.
Overton,
Window.
Overton window.
Yeah,
See, that dad and his son, they have moved with the Overton window.
exactly.
So now the dude that goes, "Excuse me, it's ma'am," he's acceptable
Yeah.
now.
Well, I think like the Pokey Pokes kind of brings to mind the whole thing that you like to call Murder Inc.
Murder Inc.
Murder Inc.
So Murder Inc. kind of pertains to Larry Fink turning everyone into mini megalomaniac psychopath micromanagers because mini megalomaniac psychopath micromanagers are who were on the ground wearing scrubs during cooties.
Mm-hmm.
They remember they're wearing scrubs and they're doing TikTok videos where they're all doing a big dance,
Like a whole a choreographed
a
dance.
choreographed dance.
Like they had to practice it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, we're overrun. So we have so many patients that we really don't have any time. But hold on a second. We're going to spend like 4 hours choreographing this dance in our scrubs. But so those people have become the triple M's to the P.
Mm-hmm.
They're carrying out the agenda at ground level.
Yep.
And so what they do, they work for the hospitals.
Yeah.
The hospitals are Murder Inc.
Murder Inc.
Because everything's rolled down from the top. So the administrator gets told by Satan, okay, so the first thing that you do is someone comes in. See, because a lot of people will just be like, I gotta go to the doctor. I got sore throat. So they go to the doctor for that. They go in the emergency room.
Go to the emergency room.
Oh, excuse me.
I know.
And the lady's like,
feeling good.
what's your emergency, sir? Well, I have a little bit of a scratchy throat. So they go, good, good, good. So they love that.
Yeah.
Because a person like that is perfect.
They're totally malleable.
So Satan goes, good, good,
Yeah.
good. So, administrator at the hospital, you're Murder Inc. now. So what do you do with that person? Well, the first thing that we do is we're going to give you a PCR test. Now, the PCR test was invented by Kerry Mullis back in the 80s. And he said, with no uncertain terms, that this should not be used to determine whether you have infectious disease.
Yeah.
It's not meaningful, but we're going to give you this test
To
and
determine if you have the infectious
yeah,
disease.
we're going to completely contradict the inventor. And then we're going to tell you, excuse me, you're positive.
Yeah.
So now Satan goes, good, good, good. So what are the protocols now when they're positive? Now you have 14 days of, you have to be, what do they call it when you have to be?
Quarantined.
You're quarantined.
Yeah.
You know?
Or even better yet, admitted to the hospital.
Then you get admitted.
Because once you're admitted, the hospital's got a lot of like bonuses. And then once
they administer
REM death is near.
Rem death is near.
REM death is near.
So remdesivir was a
We're probably
compound.
getting flagged for that.
You can't even say it.
Yeah.
But remdesivir was heavily funded by Anthony Fauci.
And it was the drug that they said was the only acceptable drug to give to the cooties
It's
patients.
the only one that's going to work.
And
no hydroxychloroquine.
They didn't bother to tell the people that it had like a 50% chance of organ failure after having
35% chance you're probably going to have a gnarly death, but come here.
Yeah, you're going to probably die.
Which is probably going to suck too, because organ failure doesn't sound like a fun death. It sounds like a slow, painful, gnarly death.
Yeah, and then once you get organ failure, then that's when they can put the ventilator on.
So now,
right?
Satan,
and half of those people die.
So Satan goes, good, good, good. Murder Inc. So you did a good job.
There's the steps.
So here, that person came in with a slight fever and a sore throat. Now you gave him a PCR test. You told him it was positive. Good. So you admitted him. Now you gave him remdesivir. Then now they have their organ failing. Good, good, good. Then you put him on a ventilator. Good, good, good.
They'll probably die.
Now they died. And then when they die, what do you put for cause of death?
Cooties.
So now you get money as the administrator. We're going to give you money for each of those steps.
You did a good job.
We reward you. I'm Satan. I control the money, so I'll give you money. So that's what keeps you doing it. So that's why it's Murder Inc.
Totally. You know what? One of our funniest inside jokes is, I think you came up with this one.
It was fun.
Based on a real life incident you had when you were younger. And you tell this story about when you were working with this girl at Trader Joe's and you were going to go out for tacos for lunch.
Oh, no, she was in LA.
Oh.
So I worked down by La Brea Tar Pits.
Oh my gosh, how convenient.
We worked right across the street from La Brea Tar Pits. And I go,
let's go get tacos.
I go, let's go to lunch. And then we had two other people with us, two other coworkers. So we all got in her car and we started cruising. And she goes, oh my God, you guys, I want to get my nipple pierced. And we're like, whoa, that's kind of impromptu. And she goes, just come on. And then they had to stay outside, but she let me come in and watch.
Oh.
So that's why I'm not really mad at her, because that was really cool. She let me watch. And then you know what she did at the end?
It's kind of creepy.
It was cool. She was cool. And then at the end, she was like, go ahead. And she like let me lick it.
Ew, you didn't have to tell us that.
It was awesome.
Gross.
But so anyways, so she goes, come on in. But see, the reason that I use that analogy all the time is because she didn't think it through. Yeah. So it's an analogy for, what do we analogize that for?
Just people doing things without like thinking about the long-term effects.
But wait, there's a specific one. When the actresses sell their soul to be A-listers,
right,
they get their nipple pierced on the way to get tacos.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because when you get your nipple pierced, you're doing a permanent bod mod. And you're doing it very impromptu. You're not thinking it through, and you're thinking about the short term. Yeah. You're not thinking about the long term.
Right.
So when you sell your soul to Satan to go be a big actress, what you're saying is, ooh, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be rich and famous. And that's all you're thinking about. But when they die, Satan goes, good, 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 right here to come this way to your fiery roost. And you have a window, but it just looks out of hell, but come on. So they don't think about the long term. Right. So it's getting your nipple pierced on the way to get tacos.
Yeah. Well, something that I like to think about a lot is Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's become more than just what it is. It represents something.
It represents something, but I think before we can fully explain that, because there's several meanings about Antarctica, we have to talk about where we live and the spinning ball, because We don't
Is it a
we
spinning
don't
ball?
really
We
feel
don't
like
know.
we're spinning on a ball. We
Well,
don't feel
there's a
like
lot of people who think that we're living on a flat Earth.
yeah, and if that's the case, Antarctica would sort of represent more land. There's more land out there.
Where did we see the evidence of that? Remember the UN?
Yeah,
Remember the UN
their
seal? What's
seal.
on the seal?
It looks like more land. It's like a flat earth depiction of our earth, but
It's two-dimensional.
it's two-dimensional and it looks like
Olive reeds.
olive wreaths, but I think what they represent are the continents and possibly other continents beyond that. So Antarctica,
Because they're revealing the method. They have
yeah,
to. Ooh, that's another one we got to talk about because we talk about that a lot too.
yeah. So Antarctica, I think, may be this place where it's beyond and we're not allowed to go there. We've done an episode on this and talked about this in several other episodes. They supposedly have these excursions and cruises to Antarctica, but they really only take you around the outskirts.
That's
They're
right.
not going into the Iowa of Antarctica. And that's what we want to know about. We want to know about the Iowa and what else is out there because I think it holds a lot of secrets. And possibly what could be happening is this could maybe be where these people get sent to. Like we talk about people getting voted off the island, like the reality
Like
shows,
Charlie Kirk.
like Charlie Kirk, when these people disappear. Are they really dead? Like Epstein, are they really dead? Or are they just getting voted off this
Let's
reality
talk about
show?
voting getting voted off the island because
Yeah.
that's a whole nother one and it's part of Antarctica. So let's talk about it in the context. We'll come back to Antarctica,
Okay.
but we had an epiphany.
Yep.
And the epiphany was, oh my God, because we're old enough to remember reality shows
Yeah.
when they first hit during, because the first reality show was The Real World, the quote unquote real world on MTV. And remember, Puck got voted off because he told Pedro, he made fun of Pedro, and Pedro's like, I have HIV.
Mhm.
I am a victim. And then Puck made fun of him. So Puck got voted off. So then what happened is we got introduced to the reality show, and now we realize that the dynamics of power are a reality show. So Elon Musk, he desperately wanted to be on Pleasure Island.
Right.
Trump is on Pleasure Island, you know, but who got voted off recently? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was on the reality show and he got voted off.
Totally.
And how you get voted off is you kind of get unalived.
Yeah, either you get unalived or possibly you just get like
Did he? He didn't get unalived, but he got voted off.
yeah, yeah, and I think some of these people don't get unalived, but they get sort of witness protection program.
And remember how we talked
Yeah.
about Gash Patel? What did he say? He came out and he goes, what we've concluded with Charlie Kirk investigation is Charlie Kirk, you are in Valhalla, buddy.
Yeah.
And we realized, wait,
Valhalla.
Valhalla is the name of the witness protection program.
Totally.
So that's what we've kind of deduced.
Hmm.
We've kind of deduced that people can get voted off the island. So it pertains to Antarctica. How does it pertain to Antarctica?
Well, you sort of had this theory that maybe that's where they were getting sent to,
Yeah,
which kind of ruined my dream of someday going to this beautiful untouched place that I
I hope you're
want
right.
to find because I don't want to go there and see like Jeffrey Epstein
He's
and like
there.
people there like
Oh,
that.
what if you
So,
met Jeffrey Epstein? Would you be
oh,
stoked? He's all
no,
shaking your hand. Hi.
gross.
So gross. You're like, ew. But see, that could be where they go because Martha Stewart Martha Stewart can't have a spectacular downfall and then just be um, at a shopping center in Connecticut.
Right, totally. So I think we should mention those animals from 200 million years ago.
We use that as a trope.
Because we like to talk about that too, because it seems sort of ridiculous and far-fetched.
Those were the bones.
The bones they find those like one bone and they're able
It's the
to
dire wolf, remember?
yeah they're able to completely make an entire animal off of like
What was his
two
title?
bones.
What was his title? I'm a paleogeneticist.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
And he goes, excuse me, this bone from this dire wolf is 6 million years old. But then we have this other bone that's from another dire wolf, but it's much deeper.
It was older.
This one's from 11 million years. So he's suggesting that he can make a determination between 11 million years old and 6 million years old
Yeah.
just by studying these bones. And all of these are assumptions that you guys have found a dire wolf bone.
And people are just supposed to accept that these people know that these bones are 200 million years old. And it's such a big number that I think most people can't even question it.
You had an epiphany about that too. What were you saying? You were saying, how come it's only like experts that find fossils?
Right.
How come it's never like, oh, well, Janice was like putting a
Hiking.
rose bush in
Yeah.
her backyard and she found
And
this
she
bone?
dug up a dinosaur bone.
No,
Like, how come that doesn't happen?
it's always managed by the
The
culture club.
paleontologists.
See, the paleontologists are in the culture club.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the doctors.
Yeah.
They work for Murder Inc.
And also, the fact that they want us to believe that these bones from these animals from 200 million years ago supplied all this oil for 200 million years, but now we're suddenly running out of it. Seems a little
Why can't we
far-fetched
just
also.
use the La Brea tar pit? That's got a
Well,
lot of oil.
yeah, and also, like, if they're able to clone stuff, couldn't they just clone more of those animals?
Own me some oil.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's an inside joke. Some of these are inside jokes, but they're also some of the things are just things that we reference a lot in
Well, you know what they are? They're shells.
Bombshell. That's another one. What is
Yeah.
that one? That's referring to Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah.
So when you see, there's a video that came out of Cooties, and it shows a montage of all of these talking heads across the whole screen. So there's like 30 of them, and you see that
Newscasters.
they're all the newscasters are saying not just the same idea, the same exact
Exact.
words.
Yeah.
Because what does Satan tell him?
Stick to the script, verbatim.
He says, "Don't take any."
Liberties.
He goes, "Don't take any creative license.
Yeah. Yeah.
No creative license here."
Right. Yeah.
He goes, "I need you to say exactly."
Exactly verbatim.
Why? Real quick?
Brainwashing, mind
Well,
control.
what we found out, what we kind of had the epiphany is I think you had this epiphany. Some words can lull people into a spell,
Yeah.
but they have to be that
Trigger
specific
words.
word.
Trigger words.
Like you can't say this is an explosive story. It doesn't have the same
No.
effect as this is a bombshell.
Right. So, just a couple last little ones that we should mention. The rack of jackets. Remember?
That was a Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah, when I went into a big store and there was an entire rack of jackets, and my friend tried one on in, I went back the next day to get it for a gift, and the entire rack was gone, and everybody at the store, even online, nobody had any recollection of that jacket. And it
It
was a
had been
very
omitted.
it had been omitted from the matrix. So I believe that really happened. So rack of jackets is referencing to that. And I think maybe the last thing that we should talk about is one of our newest inside jokes, transfusion.
Transfusion. We just came up with that.
We just came up with
Transfusion. You know what it was? It was like, okay, so we saw the dude and he's got kind of like a California attire on.
Yeah,
So he's kind of got one of those ponchos that you get from TJ. You know,
Tijuana.
he's got like Doc Martens and he's got like a black dress and a pink bandana and he's trying to look like California laid back beach look,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a tranny.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, you ever go to those restaurants where it's like, well, you can get gyoza or a hamburger. It's what do they call those?
They call it fusion.
It's fusion.
Yeah.
So, "Hey, dude, I'm going to this new restaurant. And what kind of restaurant? Well, it's California fusion. So that's what that guy is.
Yeah.
He's a transfusion.
Transfusion.
He's a transfusion.
So most of this stuff, when people aren't like really paying attention and they're just going along with it, what is it? They're drinking the Kool-Aid.
The Kool-Aid. That's
Yeah,
another one.
that's the main one.
Kool-Aid pertains to Jonestown, where Jim Jones gave all of his cult members Kool-Aid and they died.
Totally.
So when you drink the Kool-Aid, you're gonna die.
I think that was a good recap of all our inside
Now
jokes.
people can hear us and they can go where we're talking about.
They know what we're talking about, and they can be all our listeners can be in on the inside jokes.
And we can refer them to this one and
Yeah.
they can come listen. Hopefully that was fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay.
Hey, listeners, we have an addendum.
Yep.
because we forgot a few of our inside jokes. And actually, these are like some of our most important ones that we
We have so many that we
I
kind of let
know
this one off.
we kind of forgot like a couple of our the ones that we talk about all the time. So the first one you probably hear us talking about, and if you don't know the meaning of it or where it originated from, it might be confusing to you. So the first one we forgot is Fat Steve.
Fat Steve.
Fat Steve, you talk about Fat Steve, Firefly.
So Fat Steve is an analogy. So Fat Steve is a 500-pound dude who is attending a cruise. He's on a cruise.
Hmm.
So what we talk about is on the cruise ship, you can eat literally the whole time you're on a cruise.
Yeah.
You can just eat yourself into oblivion.
Right. Like the
So
breakfast buffet sort of bleeds into the lunch buffet.
yes. So you wake up and 7 a.m. they build the breakfast buffet. Now the breakfast buffet is pretty much up until they tear it down. While they're tearing it down, they're already throwing out lunch offerings. So if you had just grabbed yourself your fourth offering from the breakfast buffet and you're sitting down, scarf in your face,
You're eating your eighth pancake.
you can go back and now start getting enchiladas and hamburgers. So, you don't have to have a break in your eating. But then the lunch buffet ends, and then they don't have a dinner buffet. What dinner is formal. So
Oh.
everyone goes into the restaurant, and then what they do there is I've seen people do this. They order 7 entrees, and they just kind of nitpick. I'll have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Take that away, you know. And so they just waste a bunch of food. But
But if you're Steve, you probably don't waste anything.
Steve's like, I don't really waste. Waste not, want not. So then, Steve though, Steve's favorite is the midnight buffet.
Oh.
So after you've scarfed down breakfast buffet, lunch buffet, and dinner entrees, now the plus dinner
Wait,
has dessert too.
isn't there a dessert buffet?
So that's what you have midnight buffet.
Oh, okay.
So midnight snack. It's
Okay.
called midnight snack.
Oh.
So when you go to midnight snack, you've got a smattering of offerings.
Mm.
So you'll have fondue, or you'll have baked Alaska, but you'll also have like roast beef and cottage cheese. So you can
If you
have,
want to be healthy,
yeah.
if you're on a diet, you have the cottage
So
cheese.
you can have kind of like a diverse midnight snack. So what Fat Steve is an inside joke for us is because so he's at the midnight snack and he has some cherries jubilee
Mm.
and he's got some baked Alaska and he's getting ready and he's just kind of looking at the cottage cheese and the roast beef and he's about to get himself some more. And you go up to Fat Steve and you say, Fat Steve, dude, we we just hit an iceberg, bro. And we have to go to the
Lifeboat.
lifeboats. We got to go to the lifeboats right now, bro. And what does Fat Steve say?
He says, "Where's the roast beef?"
He goes, excuse me, I'm having fondue. I don't need any data right now. No data matters because so when Fat Steve doesn't respond to hitting the iceberg, it's kind of like the blue pilled people. When you go and you tell them, um, you have become an immoral bottomless pit, and everyone in America has, and Western civilization has gone off of a cliff. We've gone over a precipice in Western civilization, and we're in free fall. You need to stop being an immoral bottomless pit. And what do the blue pill people say? They have the Fat Steve response.
Yeah. Where's the roast beef?
Where's the real thing? I don't want to hear. Because you know what? When people are indulging in their buffet, they don't want data.
No, because it might contradict their bubble,
It might, well,
and they don't want to deal with that.
plus, not only do they not want to burst their bubble, but you don't want to interrupt their pleasure.
No, did
You know?
I think we talked about bubble bursting?
Well, so let's talk about bubble
Let's
bursting.
talk about
So
bubble
that was
bursting.
fat. So that was Fat Steve, and Fat Steve was an inside joke, and you'll hear us refer to him a lot because he is kind of an analogy for telling blue pill people to wake up, and they just don't because they're too plied with all of their pleasures and all of their soma, and so the buffet is kind of a good analogy. But now, when we talk about bursting a bubble, what you're talking about, what's a bubble? What are we talking about when we talk about a bubble?
Well, we're talking about kind of your interpretation of the world around you, and it's what your beliefs are, and you're a lot of people are like trapped inside their little bubbles and they don't want to know what's happening outside.
Who feeds them their bubbles?
The media.
That's right. So the media puts you in a bubble. So like CNN, MSNBC,
Those are
that's a
bubbles.
bubble. Like all the people at the No Kings, those people are in a bubble, and they don't want to hear data that's going to burst their bubble.
Right.
So that's what the bursting of the bubbles is. We burst bubbles
We're
here.
bubble bursters.
We do. We say, "Excuse me, you're drunk on Kool-Aid." Being drunk on Kool-Aid is a bubble.
Yeah. Open your eyes.
You got to open your eyes, because basically what a bubble is a bunch of lies that you've been swallowing. And what the media has become very shrewd at doing is making sure that there's no cracks in the lies. So there's an answer for everything that might cause you to break out.
No cracks in the bubble.
There's no cracks in the bubble.
Yeah.
So we crack bubbles.
Yeah.
So that's bursting bubbles. What's
Yeah.
the next one?
Well, you know how it seems like a lot of people are just sort of muddling through life. Like
Yes.
they just, things they kind of just accept the idea of just not really having much, and everything is sort of mediocre and they just muddle through, and next thing you know, their dog's in a wheelchair.
Their dog's in a
Their
wheelchair.
dog's
You know what that came from? It was a commercial that you saw,
I
right?
saw a
It was
commercial.
weird.
It was like a dog food commercial, I think, and they were showing all these dogs like happy and everything. And then this one poor dog was in a wheelchair, and I was like, "That's not really good advertisement for this product. I don't think I
It's
want,
not,
you know."
but
But
it's a good metaphor.
yeah, because it was like the people just like accepted the fact that this dog was just in a wheelchair and whatever. Like they're just muddling through their existence. Like they're not really living. They're just like existing.
They're
You know?
not Tigger.
No,
Who are they?
they're Eeyore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eeyore is like, thanks for noticing me.
So when your dog's in a wheelchair, it's like you're just kind of like muddling through,
You muddle
you
through. And you
know?
know what it also is? It's just like, well, I just accept that
Everything's mediocre.
you know what it is I'm broken and my life is broken, and that's just the way that it goes, so I better just muddle through the best that
Yeah.
I can.
And I'm so broken that even my dog is broken.
My
But
dog is
that's okay.
broken. It's kind of like this mentality. It's kind of a black pill.
It is.
It's kind of like, well,
But they're all blue pilled.
they're blue pilled. They are. You know what? It's people who just accept a lame status quo
Right.
and just act like there's nothing that can be done.
Totally.
So those are the people whose dogs are in a wheelchair, and
Um, so I think the last really important one that we forgot until we remember some more
yeah,
for another addendum is the bad bird.
the bad bird.
We talked about this in our Mother Nature is being micromanaged
Where was
episode.
he?
He was on the island that I went to visit one day, and this one bird was flying around and it had a blue tag on its wings.
He was invasive.
He was invasive, and they said he was a bad bird because he was teaching the other birds how to eat eggs.
Mhm.
They didn't want those other birds there on that island. They were trying to eradicate them because they were invasive, but they didn't want the bad bird to be eating the eggs.
That's right.
That would have actually like done the eradicating.
Yeah.
Mother Nature was trying to take care of it.
Well,
They didn't want that.
they have triple M's to the P out there. They go, excuse me, butterfly, we eradicate those birds in our own way.
Yeah.
Because you might have asked a question like, well, if that bird is eradicating those birds by eating their eggs, isn't that good? They go, excuse me, please don't ask questions.
Right. We don't want that bird to do that or teach the other birds how to do it. We're going to take care of the problem ourselves.
Well, that's why that episode was called
Is Mother Nature being micromanaged?
That's right, because these people like Larry Fink are megalomaniacs, and they have this notion that they control the weather
And
and
the
that
world.
they control the world, and so they have to control even Mother Nature.
Yeah.
It's a megalomania. It's this like a psychopathy that they have, that they just they're mentally ill and they believe that they need to control everything, And so they put tags on these birds, these poor birds. He's
Yeah.
got a blue tag now.
Yeah.
And they go, that bird's bad.
He was a bad bird.
He is getting voted off the island. He's kind of like in a reality show.
We've been trying to vote him off, but he keeps flying
He
back.
keeps flying back. It'd be like remember like in The Bachelorette, like the guy is like at the fire in the reality show and they're going, Brad, some of the girls have said that you need to be voted off. So it'd be like if Brad got voted off, but he keeps kind of like
Coming back.
paddling back on his canoe.
Yeah.
And it's like Brad's back.
We're gonna tag him.
He keeps paddling back on his canoe. Brad, you got voted off. You need to stay away. So that bird doesn't understand that he's been voted off.
No.
He doesn't get it.
He's not taking no for an answer.
The other ravens need to like get with him and say, you've been voted off. Don't go back.
Maybe they're all in on it.
They're all in on it. They're conspiracy. Yeah, exactly. We're the conspiracy against that bird. Maybe we are that bird. Maybe that's the metaphor.
Oh, totally.
We are that bird.
We are that
because we got the tag. That's why
We're that bird.
That's why we get like shadow shunned because we've got that tag on our beak.
But you know what? We just keep coming back.
Yeah.
All right. I think it was important that we added that. So we hope that clears things up.
Good. So now, in case you're confused, okay, good. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.